guys, Cliff here. I got 4 knives came into the shop today, and I thought what a perfect opportunity to show some different techniques. The first one is this one here. It's got some minor chips and dings along the edge. This one here, same thing. These have been lovingly used, and we'll look under the scope. We'll be able to see these actually haven't been sharpened, I don't think, by anybody. So there's some natural wear. This one I'm going to show how to do a really thin angle on the grind, and we're going to focus on the tip work to get a needle type point for this paring knife. And this one here is another beautiful knife. Its tip has been damaged, so I'm going to show one way to repair the tip. I'm probably just going to take off the top edge. Okay, so I'm going to start one knife at a time. We'll do 4 separate videos. The first one is going to be this. I believe it's an 8-inch Shun. Yeah, this is an 8-inch Shun knife, and it's in really good condition. Let's take a look at it under the scope, and we'll see what we see when we do that. Okay, here we are under low power magnification. I measured the bevel. It's about 0.3 of a millimeter, or 300 microns from top to bottom. It's very shallow. The edge blunting is pretty normal. Basically, it's just dulling over time. There are a couple spots where it has hit and done. There's one spot there where you can see, I'm going to roll up over the top of the apex. You can see it's been blunted right there. And further down, there's a couple pretty decent ones. Under magnification, everything looks ugly. That's where it's rolled. They hit something hard, I would guess like a bone or something like that. Other than that, the original bevel is there. You can tell, I'm guessing nobody's ever touched this thing. There's a little bit of some chip outs and some things like that. There's another big one right there. Again, this is 0.3 of a millimeter from top to bottom on that secondary bevel, that edge bevel. Okay, so basically I'm going to take a couple swipes with each of the grits. Maybe try and check it with the scope. I don't want this to get too long and repetitive. I'm going to go with 220, 600, 1200, and then 3000 grit. I'll probably knock the burr off in between each level real quick with a soft stick that I keep close by. And it just cleans the edge and knocks the burr off. When we get up to 3000, we'll take a look, and then I'll do the final honing, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, I'm going to start right now. Okay, 2 passes per side on the 220 grit. My 600 grit belt's pretty worn, so I wanted to give it a couple extra passes. And then we'll go to the Norton X16 1200 grit. I'll knock the burr off, and it removes all the junk and stuff that was cluttering it up as well. Okay. The belt's even got a different sound to it. It's pretty cool. Because it's a structured abrasive and it has the particles are uniformly set apart in a grid pattern, the belt doesn't get as hot either. So I'm running really slow, and so it's not even a little bit warm along the edge. You know, we're sharp already at this point. Okay, be back with 3000. Here we are with 3000, same thing. Hit it through the stick. And because we're going edge leading, it minimizes the burr. Okay, that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it under the scope again. So this is what that edge looks like now after the 3000 grit belt. You can see it's got a mirror shine to it. You can focus your time a little bit more to try and remove each scratch from the level before. I find that they will all buff out in the following stropping steps. The edge is clean. If I go down the edge, we just take a look at it, and you can run and check your fingernails. Really a good test to see if there's any nicks or chips that you haven't filled. You can use a Sharpie, piece of plastic, something like that. I like using my thumbnail. Okay, sorry in advance, guys. This is the other Harbor Freight's 1x30, the original one. It is significantly louder. The important thing here is this is a leather belt with green rubbing compound on it. And the idea behind this for me is it's going to remove any remaining burr. It's also going to burnish and polish that apex bevel and put a nice mirror finish on it, or the beginning of a mirror finish. It'll blend scratch lines. It'll do things like that. That's one of the things leather does. And then we'll finish that up with 2 or 3 stages of the felt with the different micron and sub-micron polish particles. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit this real quick. it's for just about everything you do. This would be more than enough. It's at the touch your hair and it'll just pop right off your arm stage. No scraping or dragging required. It just bites the hair and starts popping them apart. But you can go further. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to swap these belts out. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are with the 1 micron. Here we are with the 0.25 micron. And finally, here we are with the 0.1 micron CBN. And that's all there is to it. For the sharpness test, I usually just use phone book paper. Very nice. Check the whole edge, make sure it's nothing I missed. And let's take a look at what that looks like under the scope. Okay, here we are looking at this, I guess essentially it's a mirror polished edge. You can, under magnification, you can see the fine scratches. The apex is clean and straight. If you look at it leading on, it's you know, it's a wire, it's a line. There's no burr, anything like that. I'm going to run down. This is at the heel. I'm going to try and run down the blade real quick. This is where it took that ding and it deformed the metal. And we don't want to remove more metal than we have to. That'll straighten out, I believe, as we go through a couple more sharpenings. And just run straight on down, looking for any problems along the way. This technique is pretty foolproof. I mean, it just takes care of itself. If you get the bevel right from the very beginning, you're not going to have any trouble later on. So that's it. That's the first knife in the series. This was edge leading on the angle guide, 15 degrees to 3000 grit, followed up by leather with green paste, and then 1 micron, 0.25 micron, and 0.1 micron. The final was a 0.1 micron CBN spray on felt. Get some really hair popping sharp. Thank you guys for watching.